Reilly, welcome to Limerick Post Show. Today I am delighted to be joined by Clodagh Lawlor, Irish country music star. Clodagh, how are you?
I'm good, Mark. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on this. This is
Oh,
amazing.
absolutely delighted to have you. So I suppose first and foremost, you have a gig on tonight in the University Concert Hall, Country Summer. Could you run us through it? Are you excited? Are you nervous even? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm actually so excited. I suppose for any artist now to be playing a gig, everyone would just be jumping around the place. But this gig is a very unique gig. You know, it's myself, Cleona Hagan, and Charlie Buckley, and the three of us are doing our own acoustic set, and then we're singing together. And it's like a dream gig for me anyway, that you're just sitting down and you're actually playing country songs and listening to the stories and getting to interact with why it's important to you. So for me, it's such an exciting night, and I really am not just saying this. I think anyone that wants to sit down and enjoy I suppose, a concert tonight, this is definitely one that you need to tune into.
Yeah, no, I'd say it'll be absolutely brilliant, and I would imagine it's gonna go. It's streaming, like, so I imagine there's gonna be a lot of viewers in it, and I'd say it'd be exciting. So since basically it's been kind of a whirlwind for you in the last like year and a bit, 2 years, it's been crazy. But so I suppose since Late Late Show, like how was that? Even performing with Nathan Carter, Brian Tubridy interviewing you, and then just all this like this massive quick process happening. Like, how has that been? The journey, basically.
It's been absolutely incredible, and like I can never thank I can never thank the Late Late Show for what they did for me, and I count my blessings every day that I got that opportunity to do that, Mark. Because I think if I didn't get that opportunity to be on stage and to get myself out there to the public, because what better way for an artist than to perform on the Late Late Show to get out there?
Absolutely.
And it was just kind of a snowball effect after that. You know, it was summer 2019, and festivals were kind of getting in touch with me saying, look, we have like a few minutes here if you want to do it. And I was like, look, I'll do anything. I was taking every gig that I could and any appearance just to get out there that bit more. And then I started kind of working on an album from that. I was fortunate enough to kind of get that going. And then the world obviously, you know, shut down. But again, like there's ways of being thankful for COVID in a way for artists, because
Yeah,
it's
of
given,
course.
you know, so much scope to like sit down and find who we are, and like the grants that were given to musicians to do stuff. I don't think without COVID, my album, I don't think would be financially
Yeah,
supported.
yeah,
And I
it
was just
would, it
very
would.
lucky it happened. But no, I'm counting my blessings, as I said, every day when I wake up, that I'm actually doing what I love. Do you know that kind of way? That
Yeah.
it's my job, I love what I do. And yeah, I'm just very lucky.
Like how, like actually to go back to what you just said there, the album, how is that coming about? And like, because you've multiple singles. I was listening to them on most music streaming platforms there. Like, what's the process in the album? Is it coming along, or what's the story?
Yeah, the album I'm hoping for later, kind of November, December, if I can. Again, you know, I'm not going to put the album into the clouds unless I have a gig to actually show what it's about.
Yeah.
Because my album is kind of like a storybook of my journey as an artist so far. And you know, some of the songs that were picked nearly 2 years ago now, when you think of it, when you sit down to do an album, and just with everything going on, it's been hard to kind of get it out there. But the first kind of song really off the album was Jolene. You know, Jolene is my latest single, and that to me was kind of showing who I was. It's Jolene, but it's a different kind of vibe to it.
It's your own twist, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of a disco vibe to it as well. So the album is hopefully, as I said, the end of November. But I'm very excited for it, and let's just hope it does well and that people like it.
No, they will. They will. I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it anyway. So I hope it is November. And if it's not, you're in trouble. So I suppose, yeah. I suppose going back to, like, you went on tour with Young Irelanders as well, and like States, Canada. Like, it's amazing. You've just blown up so quickly, and you've taken to it so well. Like, you're just so calm in it. And like, how have been the nerves? Like, how have you dealt with it? And the whole year,
Yeah.
like, how has it been?
It's kind of, for me, like the quote that I was in Nashville a couple of years ago, and I met this guy. He was working in a boot shop, you know, that sells Western country boots.
Yeah.
And he's a songwriter, and I suppose he's gone to Nashville to try and be obviously the next thing, or trying to make a life out of music. And he said a quote to me, my mom was saying, he said, preparation met opportunity. You know, he got a song to Tim McGraw, and that has just, you know, helped. There's a songwriter. And I think my preparation on the lead up to the Late Late Show was what I was doing, and then I got the Late Late Show, and I was kind of ready from there. Now, if you give me that opportunity of getting on the Late Late Show 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready, but I had so so much at the side that as I play, I know who I am as an artist. I know what the way the business world works. That I'm ready. I'm ready for this transition now as an artist, and I'm just kind of going with it, and I love it. I think
yeah,
I'm
you're
so
flying.
Dude,
Yeah, it's just
that's
building blocks of confidence, like, and you can
yeah.
see it as you progress. It'll just, and you're just gonna grow and grow. Like, it's just gonna get better and better. Like, I mean, like, how was that? Like, even singing with Nathan Carter, that must have been a highlight. Like,
Yeah, I've always said it. You know, I work with Peter Maher in Middle Walk Studios in Nina, and he does some recording with Nathan as well. And I've always said, before I was even in this world, I said if I could sing with anyone, it would have been Nathan, because he's just so incredible. And for me, as looking up to him, he has always been kind of an ambassador for young people coming along and giving a different kind of stance to country music, but still sticking to the roots. So that was kind of always my get-go. I was like, if I can get singing with Nathan, I will be
that's
so
amazing. Like, that is absolutely amazing. Like, that one of your goals just ticked off the list. It's just absolutely mad. I suppose a few generic questions for you. What's your favorite song that you've released? Like, what's the one that speaks to you the most, and why?
I think if I was to get on stage to perform, it's going to be Jolene. Jolene is one that I just get such a kick out of. I get so happy when I'm in it, and I think it's the way that I've kind of produced the song with Peter Maher that it's just a different vibe altogether. So I think from a performance side and enjoyable side, it would be Jolene. If I was to pick my favorite song in the entire world, is Caledonia, and that would be my favorite song.
Yeah, the Paula Nutini version is it's probably one of my favorites as well, I won't lie. Sure, you could be, you never know, you'd be working with him soon enough. The way things are going, like, you never know. So I suppose inspiration, where'd it come from? What age did you know music was your go-to, was your passion? When did that all begin?
Yeah, that kind of happened. It was always there. I was very musical growing up, but I never put myself out there. And I think I was about eight years of age, and I used to watch American Idol online, and you know, watching everyone kind of coming and going at that. And then I started to love country music. And Carrie Underwood is the first lady that I probably discovered when it comes to, you know, buying a CD. Back then, like, you'd be racing to get a CD, and over here in Ireland, on American Idol. So I got my friends in America to send it over. But I've been heavily by my parents with country music, because they, you know, Irish country music and American country music, because they love Daniel O'Donnell, Joe Dolan, you know, Philomena Begley, and then you have Gareth Grove and Jackson, all them, and that was kind of what was played at home. So I think whatever you're around, you kind of maybe adapt it without even knowing.
Absolutely.
I fell into it, the love of it. I'm obsessed.
Brilliant. And I saw this earlier, and so am I right in saying this, that you were doing a course for the healthcare sector?
Oh God, yeah.
And how did, like, what happened there where you transitioned back to, is it music technology and production? You did an LIT then. How did that, what was the switch?
Oh, I think, you know, when you're 18 years of age, and I look back on it, and I feel so sorry for young people nowadays when they're in leaving cert and they don't really know what they want to do, or they might want, just too scared to go after it. And back then I used to go into career guidance counselors' offices, and I'd be like, well, look, I just love music. That's all I love. That's literally the only thing that I enjoy. And they'd say, look, that can always be the backup plan. And I think then when you're young,
that's usually what they tell you, though. Yeah, it's like, no, you'd be better in accounting or something like that, and you'd have absolutely no desire to go down that route. So it's admirable that you're finally doing what you need to do, and it's just chasing your dreams.
Yeah, I had to, because, you know, I was in DCU and loved DCU. Father said I loved the lifestyle of up in Dublin. I had a great time for it. But then, you know, you have to kind of sit back and think, am I happy doing what I'm doing? And I was like, one day a lecturer came in and he said, I need you to read 5 or 6 books on some sociology, philosopher, or whatever. I don't even know what the terminology is from it. I was like, if I ever got a call in life, that was it, just to come away from something. And I was absolutely shaken, because my parents put me in college in Dublin for a year and a half, and I was like, what am I going to do? But they understood, and they're so supportive, because without my family, I don't think I'd be where I am today too, because this is a very slow journey, you know, being in this world, in the arts sector can be very slow. Like, success doesn't happen overnight. So I'm just lucky that I have them as my backbone to kind of back me up with everything. Even now during COVID, you know, they understand that I'm still working, but even though I'm not working, that you know, some parents will be like, what, job, you know, you need a job. But I'm happy that they understand that I'm still working, even though I'm not physically working.
Trust, I suppose. They trust in the process, like, and to be honest, so far they have no reason not to trust in the process. It's going pretty well, like, so Okay, so yeah, probably the most, I'd say the question you get, I'd say every week, every 2 weeks, the Voice of Ireland. How was that? What was it like? Daunting, not daunting, brilliant? How'd it go?
Um, Looking back on it again, I was an 18-year-old girl that was still up in Dublin doing in DCU, wondering, will I be a singer? Won't I be a singer? Didn't know. I think there's a lot to be said with finding yourself as an artist as well, like finding yourself as a person. You really need to know what you want to give out, to give out to people. And I didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to sing a country song on the audition, but I wasn't allowed. So then I had to sing a different song, and then it was "How Deep Is Your Love" was one that they gave to me, and I was like, well, I'm not going up there now singing that. Just
Yeah,
that,
sorry to interrupt you now, just to pull you up. What? So you can't sing what you had wanted to sing? They had, like, it's structured. They give you a song.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
basically, you have to understand that too. I understand that now
Yeah,
from an entertainment sector kind of point of view, or a panel of people that own a production company. They want something to look trending online, and like everything around the psychology of it.
marketing.
So I was like, oh my God. And then when you're sitting in a room full of people that are like, I'm 26 now, but like they're 24, 25 researchers telling you that you can or can't sing, you're kind of like, all right, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, back then I was petrified, and I was like, well, if they don't think I'm a good singer, then I'm never going to be anything. And I got to a certain stage of the competition, and then I didn't get any further, but I believe everything happens for a reason then as well sometimes. So maybe there was a
Absolutely.
reason I get so far in it.
Absolutely. Look where you are now. So yeah, thank you to the Voice, I suppose. Um, I suppose just quickly, if you had goals going forward, if you not even five, but like let's say three goals on the top of your head, just moving forward in the next, I don't know, 5, 10 years, however amount of time, what would they be?
To be just doing what I love, and to be able to make obviously a life and a career out of music and nothing else. I think just to be touring and being on stage and always been doing something,
Yeah,
and to be happy with where I'm going with everything as well. I'm just making
absolutely.
everything
Yeah,
like
just doing
that.
what you love. That's the thing.
That's the kind of common denominator there. Still doing what I love, and obviously it's a business. You want to make a life for yourself as
Of
well,
course, yeah.
but that you love, that would be my goal, and my kind of word to anyone out there is to always do what you love, because you'll find nothing else better then.
That actually brings me, like you said, just say to anybody, do what you love. What if you had one piece of advice outside of that to any young artist looking up to you, and any young person who's passionate about country music, wants to get into singing it and performing, what would you say to them?
Just champion on, and just do you. Don't even care what your friends might think, or your family, and I know they'll always be supportive, but you have to think of yourself at the end of the day, and whatever makes you happy. If there's something that you enjoy doing, just go after it. You've only one life, and we all know that after COVID now, you have to enjoy it, and you just don't know
No,
where you could be.
I couldn't agree more. As in, that's the problem with especially this generation. To be honest, it's very, people care too much what people think, and especially with, like, it's just it's not even friends, family will always support you, but they will always whisper in your ear what they kind of want to push you towards as well at times, and you just have to, sometimes you have to sit down, separate yourself, and just think, what do I want to do?
Yeah, like I have a little done up a shed out the back of my house now, and that's where I go nearly for 8 hours of the day, just working on my own and like driving myself on, because everyone else might be like, oh, will you get it, or won't you get it? And they probably know you will, but
Yeah,
you just don't need, you just need yourself and your own mindset, and just write down your goals and just go after them, because God Almighty, if you don't, you'll never know. And if
yeah,
I didn't you, or if I didn't, say I'm going to give this a go. And don't get me wrong, I bussed on the streets in Limerick, Galway, and Kerry for nearly 5 years. And I always say busting on the streets were like my apprenticeship as such, because it taught me so much. And then, I just kind of said, I'm going to give this a real go. And look where we are now. We're
that's it.
promoting it
I'd
well
say it's
tonight.
brilliant though. If you're out in that shit for 8 hours a day, I'd say the neighbors very quickly know every single lyric to Jolene by now. Anyway, I'd imagine. Yeah, I suppose quickly, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing? Where do you think you'd be?
I would hope something still in the entertainment business, like radio or TV.
Yeah,
I was very lucky that I've gotten 2 TV shows on Sky, with the Spotlight TV, where I promote like Irish country music. I've been very lucky to be doing that, and I enjoy all that. I just
yeah. Tell me
enjoy
more
it.
about it if you don't mind. Yeah,
Yeah, actually, funnily enough, it was before I got my kind of, I suppose, leap into the Irish country music scene.
yeah,
I went to Nashville, and I knew that the owner of Spotlight TV was going to be in Nashville. And before that, I'd sent in my church video to put on the program, to try and get out there. And then he got back to me and he was like, look, we're going to be in Nashville. And I said, well, funnily enough, I'm going to be in Nashville too. And he teamed up with me and he asked me to record a little, he wanted to interview me to kind of say, oh, why I'm over here, what I'm at. I was trying to network as many people as I could. And then he asked me to do a show, and sure, I took it. And I did that for about 5 months. And then I got the Late Late, it was near the Late Late Show. So I kind of put it because I wanted to be seen as the artist then as such. And then last, was it? No, 3 months ago, they were doing like another kind of series on Sky, like looking for country artists to actually to produce the show. So I did that for 5 weeks, and I love everything about it. Anything in the entertainment sector, I just love.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing. Yeah.
Very soon, there's 1 or 2 things in the pipeline for me, and that I've been working to try and get for so long.
Any exclusives? Roll them out.
I just work music, but others, I just hope that it goes through for me, because if it does, then again, I'm ready for it, that it's going to be good. Yeah,
absolutely. When preparation meets opportunity. I've it jotted down now on my hand. Don't worry, I have that with me. So I suppose that's really it. Is there anything on your end that you'd want to say to anyone, like listen to your music, or any gigs upcoming, or even tonight about the gig in University Concert Hall?
Well, anyone that wants to follow me can just follow me on all social media platforms under Clodagh Lawlor Music, and they'll find like all my kind of music videos on YouTube and all my songs on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, all them kind of streaming outlets. And just tonight, if you're sitting at home and want to actually enjoy a night in a country music, that I'm not just saying this is a really, really good night, and so much effort has gone into it from the artist's end with their accompaniment, and also from the University Concert Hall. They've done an incredible job. So definitely tune in tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be tuning in anyway, don't worry. So actually, as you were saying there, last thing quickly, you were Instagram, all the social media following that you have a large following. You have a new TikTok page now, I believe.
Yeah, I've a new TikTok.
That going. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going actually grand. You know, it's funny enough, I get so many views from Irish folk songs when I do them, let alone other kind of country songs. It's see how it can fluctuate sometimes, but I'm trying to build that, because that's where the world's gone nowadays. It's more getting yourself out there to kind of different audiences, and I hope to tour America next year. You know, I have plans to go back there on my own this time, just Clodagh Lawlor. So I want to get as many people following me as I can to kind of get to know me.
Absolutely. Well, anyways, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Really, really enjoyable, really insightful, and I hope tonight goes well for you. And absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Limerick Post Show, Clodagh Lawlor. Please tune in tonight and follow her on all social medias if you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.